I've saved my changes as spellchecktext.ai found inside the O8 type folder. Now, I hasten to add that just because a document passes the spell checker doesn't mean all is well. Illustrator does not offer a grammar checker, and so long as a word appears inside of its dictionary, then it gets green-lighted even if the word isn't used in the proper context. Notice, for example, on the second artboard, the third line reads, "They were taught they were tan." Now, I suppose it's very possible that they were learning a thing or two as they were getting a tan, but that's not what I meant. I meant that they were ripped. They were sinewy, muscular, and that kind of taught is spelled without the G and the H. So I'll press the T key in order to get my type tool. I'll select GH like so, and I'll press the backspace key in order to get rid of those letters. Now let's say that you want to check the spelling of just that one word. Well, in another program, you would double-click on that word, and then you would go up to the Edit menu, and you would choose Check Spelling, or press Control-I, Command-I in a Mac. And then, in Illustrator's case, it's not smart enough to notice I've got a word selected and just begin spell checking it. Instead, I've got to click on the Start button. That takes me back to the beginning of the document. So it didn't even pay attention to the word that's selected. It takes me back to Vargonimus, and I already know he's fine, so click Ignore. And then Gleeden, click Ignore All. Breeden, click Ignore All. It goes ahead and skips the word taught and selects Vargon, so I guess everything's okay. So I'll click on the Done button in order to get out of the spell checker for all the good it's doing me. And then I'll press the Escape key. In order to accept my changes, press Control-Shift-A or Command-Shift-A in order to deselect the text. Notice now the third line of this second stanza on the second artboard. His demeanor naive. The word naive is not technically misspelled, but really if I'm going to spell it exactly right, then I need an accent over that I. So I'm going to press Control and Spacebar to get the zoom tool. That's Command Spacebar on the Mac. Then I'm going to go ahead and marquee around the word naive in order to zoom it in. Might press Control plus a couple of times. Command plus on the Mac to zoom in even further. And I'm going to press the T key to get the type tool. And I'll highlight the I in order to select it. Now, the best way to find this special accented character, which is an I with a diaeresis over it, that is a double dot accent, is to go to the Glyphs panel. So the Glyphs panel is not only useful for locating wacky characters like ornaments, but also for very practical characters such as accented letters. So I'll go ahead and choose Glyphs, and I'll switch the show option from ornaments to entire font like so. Now, you would think potentially that the accented I is a variation on the I character, but if you click and hold on that I, you're not going to see any accented I's. So that's not what I'm looking for. I'll go ahead and scroll down my list. And, I just passed the capital I with a diaeresis, so I must be getting close. Scroll down a little more. There's my lowercase e's. There's a couple of G's. There's the I right there. And I'll just go ahead and double-click on it in order to insert that properly accented I. All right, now I'll press the Escape key. In order to accept my changes, I'll press Control-Shift-A, Command-Shift-A on the Mac to deselect the text, and I'll go ahead and close the Glyphs panel. And that is how you go about manually copy editing a document inside Illustrator.